What's up there, Misfit? Welcome to Pages of Ascension. Of course, welcome back. If you've been hanging out with me for a while, this is the Shadowscope for the sign of Gemini, okay? So these readings are intended to help those that are entering their shadow work for the year, all right? So, just a little bit of forewarning on this. Sometimes sensitive topics do come up. Adult themes do come up, so there's your warning. If you're not interested in that, go ahead and exit stage left right now, okay? And let's see here. Blah, 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 blah. Right. So, as I stated before, if you are in this process of shadow work, and you watch me on the regular, you're just passing through, I would suggest, at least for these next 30 days, that you also look to the sign that is opposite of you for a little bit more information on how to integrate those dualistic energies that we all kind of suffer with a little bit here in the 3D meat suit. Okay, so for Gemini, for you, that would be the sign of Sagittarius. So watch the Sagittarius Shadowscope reading along with your own regular reading and the regular Sagittarius reading. So the way that I am doing the readings for this next 30-day period, the Shadowscope that is opposite of your sign will be released the same day that your regular zodiac sign is. So Gemini, go ahead and head over to the Sagittarius reading for a little bit more information there. Okay, so fine print. I am an adult. I do use adult language, so if that's something that bothers you, again, good time to exit stage left, because it means I'm probably not the reader for you, okay? No big deal. Plenty of kick-ass people here on YouTube. I am sure you can find the reader that uses the language that you prefer, okay? As far as pronouns are concerned, go ahead and go with what you identify as, okay? This is an inclusive channel. And of course, last but not least, if you are looking for a personal reading, you can go ahead and head to that website at the bottom of your screen. It'll take you to POACreator.com. Go ahead and poke around there, see if there's anything that interests you, okay? Alrighty, we've got our cards. Let's get this party started. Who y'all spying on? Okay. So this is interesting. I'm feeling like for some of you, this is definitely regarding business. If you hear anything going on and off, by the way, that's my heater. I'm in Washington State, USA, and it is so freaking cold in my apartment right now. It's not even funny. Great during summer, not so great during winter. Yeah, something's going on with business, and I feel like this is, if it isn't product research per se, you might be educating yourself on the best way to launch your business, to get the most out of what you're trying to, whatever project that you're trying to bring to fruition, okay? Ooh, interesting. All right, so what we've got for your situation at play, or topic, if you will, is timeout. So that tells me, and that actually is explaining a lot more about this card that I've got on the board here, which I'll show you in a minute, so hang on, that you might have been moving forward a little bit too quickly in this endeavor, and you've realized that there have been some missteps in the process of that, okay? So let me show you the tarot cards. We've got the Six of Pentacles, okay? We've got the Page of Swords, and then we've got the Page of Pentacles. Now, what I'm seeing here is that there's something about what you've been going after that hasn't been quite equal. Now, it's a matter of perhaps you've been a little bit more focused on, you know, your product development, but not necessarily focused enough on your advertising. And that's just an example, okay? This doesn't necessarily have to be in business, but I am picking up that vibe very heavily here with the Pentacles, that this is surrounding money, employment, that type of thing, okay? There could be someone else who's in your line of work that you've been watching to either get inspiration from, get ideas from, and during this timeout, I would actually suggest that that's a good thing. I'm not seeing anything overtly negative on that, because I do feel like doing that research is going to allow you to plan out the path necessary for your happiness in this, okay? And I do see happiness coming. Now, with the Page of Pentacles sitting here, I do feel like there's offers coming in. So either someone is offering something to you, or you're offering something to someone. This could just be as simple as bringing on another person to your team, or say, for example, if you're like a freelancer in something or something like that, that someone could be approaching you to work on their team, okay? They do see you kind of as precious to the dynamic of their company, or again, vice versa, okay? So let's go ahead and look into your Kipper. And I know some of you are thinking, like, this is supposed to be a shadow reading. This sounds really good. Yeah, you know, it does. Let's wait till the Kipper comes out, because sometimes that's where the real nitty-gritty details will start to emerge as far as what's suggested that you work on for this shadow season, okay? I think someone's running their lawnmower. I don't know if y'all can hear that. Maybe if I shuffle louder. Okay, can I get a couple cards for the Six of Pentacles, please? And thank you. One more, and there we go. Okay. So, yeah. Okay, toil and labor and pathway. So I feel like this is something that you've been trying to figure out, or that you've been working, confirmation, working towards for a number of years. We could be looking at a process here of an actual 6 years, okay? And there's just been something very unbalanced or unequal about the process, or how you've been approaching the process, okay? Let's look at this Page of Swords. Page of Swords. Can I get a couple cards for Page of Swords? Okay. So some of you are actually feeling a little bit trapped by your financial situation. Now, it's possible that, you know, the Page of Swords can be a very spying energy. And of course, that's immediately what I got for your particular reading when I saw this. So with the imprisonment and unexpected income, it's almost like you're just waiting for this windfall to happen. You're waiting for things to equal out. You can see how everybody else around you is succeeding, but for whatever reason, you don't seem to be getting that same success despite putting in such an immense amount of work into what you're doing, okay? Now, again, I do see happiness is coming to you, and I feel like it has to do with this Page of Pentacles. So let's look into that. Okay, so what it's looking like here, gems, is that, yeah, it's like it's been an inconsistency with work or employment or clients or something like that, okay? But with despair here in family room, I almost feel like the root of your issue, of the reason things are being a little stagnated, has to do with family. Now, whether that's you've been putting family in the forefront too much, sounds weird to say, but it can happen, okay? And again, life is all about balancing, right? So whether you've been putting family at the forefront too much, or you haven't been focusing on family enough, one of those scenarios is what's coming into play, the reason that things are not growing the way that you want them to right now, okay? And again, it's not to say that you haven't put in the work in one or the other of these things, but it's like, because you've been hyper focusing on only one area, the other area has been neglected, and now that's beginning to catch up with you, okay? So looking at where this puts you on your path of ascension is to stop and take in the view. And this is definitely backing up that same energy of time out. I feel like you've been hitting the ground very intensely, okay? possibly over the last 6 months, but this is feeling like a more of a long-term thing. Like this has been 6 years in the making, where you've been working to try to get something going, and it's almost stalled. Okay. And part of that is because you need to take a step back and review. Now, mind you, when I am doing these particular readings, we've got a number of planets in retrograde, probably the most prominent being Mars and Mercury, if I'm not mistaken. Do your own research on that for whenever you watch this video, okay? But Mercury is definitely a time of review. You're going back reviewing old projects. You're reevaluating, do those projects still fit with the goals that I have, okay? And then reassessing, is this the best way to get to this goal that I am seeking? This is really important, especially for Geminis during this time. If you're watching this in late October, okay, late October, November 2020, all right? This is something that is very important for you because y'all are actually ruled by Mercury. So, you know, short of you having Mercury retrograde in your chart, this can tend to hit y'all kind of hard. How you're communicating, the effectiveness of your communicating, and how clearly you are communicating, okay? But it feels like in this instance, the communication you need to do is with yourself. You need to take a step back and reassess if where you're at right now and the goals that you have right now is something that still fits within the longer term picture of what's going to make you happy, your 10 of Cups, okay? So the suggested shadow work that Spirit has for you, wow, this just keeps coming up. Okay, sorry, that threw me for a second. This is like one of two cards that has kind of like been haunting, it feels like, the readings. And let me tell y'all, I went through it yesterday trying to get the Taurus reading done. Oh my goodness. Maybe someday I'll tell y'all about that. But in any case, back to you. So, the suggested work that Spirit has for you is Blinded to Pain. So what this particular card tells me is that there's something within you that you have not dealt with. There's something that still needs to be released. Okay. And again, it could have something to do with family. It could have something to do with even as simply as feeling unworthy because you're not getting the clients that you want, because you're not getting the job offers that you want. Okay, and I do feel like once this pain is addressed, that's going to help you to move forward very quickly. I would almost even say it will leap you forward, because it's almost that last thing that you've been holding on to that needs to go in order for you to fully enter into the abundance that you're seeking. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at timing for you. So what the timing is intended to show you is if you were to begin your shadow work now, today, this month, whenever you watch this video, it's going to tell us when you can expect to start seeing some results of that work, okay? Sometimes it's not always immediate. Sometimes it is. But sometimes the work that we need to do is a little bit deeper, and it takes time to process, okay? And realistically, the Blinded to Pain card speaks to a very serious amount of deep inner work, because it talks about events or instances that may have happened to you that are very, very deep within the subconscious and the psyche that need to be worked through. Okay, so in that instance, of course, I'm always going to suggest, if you feel you need to seek out a mental health professional, okay, or even just someone that you trust, you know, that you can tell very sensitive and very deep things to, that's not going to judge you for what you're going through, okay? Sometimes it's nice to have a sounding board. Okay, 2 cards. All right. So for the record, before I continue, I want to say it's acceptance that the Blinded by Pain talks about. Let me hop in the book really quick. No, excuse me, it's denial. Okay, and the moon phase is the waning crescent. So again, not being willing to address something that is kind of embedded in you, okay? So, Again, that's what's suggested as one of the things you work on during shadow season, all right? So the timing that you've got is new moon in Libra. Okay, so some of you might already have hopped on the shadow train. Okay, this is a new romantic cycle begins, and then new moon in Pisces, which I'm pretty sure doesn't begin until sometime in 2021. Okay, I'm not gonna look it up now because that's gonna take a lot of time. All right, but what this is kind of telling me is new moon energy is going to be very significant for you in this work. Okay, now with new moon energy, the idea is to send your requests or petitions or intentions up to the universe on things that you would like to begin. So, in the terms of releasing any pain or any trauma, it can be, at least how to word it anyway, is during this new moon cycle, I bring in healing for myself. I begin my healing process. Wording kind of is at play when it comes to the new moon, full moon. So, like, you might need to do healing and bring in something new during a full moon. Again, it's in how you word it. I actually learned that tip from someone a couple of years ago. But in any case, I do feel like this pain may have to do with a romantic cycle. And as I mentioned in my other videos, money and love tend to go hand in hand. They are on the same level of vibration. Of course, love being a much higher vibration than money is, but then still affecting, one's still affecting the other. So for some of you, this could be a past relationship that just didn't go very well, and it's really done a number on your emotions, okay? For others of you, this could have something to do with family, something that happened when you were a child, okay? And then on another potential, for some of you, this person that you feel comfortable enough talking to about these things that have transpired to you could be a romantic partner. So keep that in mind. Okay, now with that, we're going to go ahead and call it here. Thank you so much for joining me, Gemini. If you got anything out of this video, don't forget to like and share. And of course, don't forget to subscribe because you have a regular video coming out, a regular Zodiac video coming out. So hopefully I will see you over there. Okay, and with that, your peace is your power, and I'll see you next time. Bye.